We have been learning so far from the various experiences of photojournalists on how it is to be working with a news organization. In today's lesson, we are going to meet Mr. SR Raghunathan. SR Raghunathan is a senior photojournalist and is presently working with the Hindu organization as its chief photographer and deputy photo editor.
My name is Raghunathan. I work for the Hindu. I joined here as a junior news photographer. Now I am the chief photographer. I've been working here for 23 years. Basically, I'm a computer engineer. I did my systems management and advanced systems management in networking. That was the time the computer has just come in, and there's a lot of job opportunities for people who work with computers, programming, there is software, hardware, whatever you name it, it is all there. But then, fate be it, I was not very particular about working with any of these computer firms. I don't know why, but I chose photography as initially my hobby, and then slowly I shifted it to my part-time profession. In the sense, I started taking functions, marriage and fashion parades and stuff like that. But I was at the crossroads after some time. That was year 1989, 1990. I was at the crossroads that whether I have to take photography or computers. Then you have to balance these two things, and then finally I thought photography is because it has a lot of fun, you meet new people, you travel a lot, and so on. That's how it started some 29 years ago. I'm 50 now, and I've been teaching photography for about 15 years now, and that's all. I started photography as a hobby that became my profession. And like I said, the photographers of different varieties, categories, rather than the variety categories. People who do sports, if they do anything else, it will be much boring for them. So people who do sports, they do only sports. People who do food, they just do food. These are the interiors, for that matter. These are the photographers. They stick on to their area. And it's not that they don't want to venture into other areas, but they can. But then the time will not permit them to venture into another area because it's entirely different altogether. So they have to learn the nuances of it, and it takes a lot of time for them, even though if it's a professional, he or she. Now coming to the photojournalist point of view is that pictures which we take for the newspaper, these are all varieties. I can even share with you a picture which I've never seen the light of the day, but I consider that picture is one of the best picture I've ever shot till this minute. It is a picture of the heart transplantation, and most importantly, the highest of the published pictures of any news photographer is because we keep tab of how many pictures being published in a month, in a day, in a week, in a month, and in a year. So mine was the highest was 3,075 in the year 99, and now I have topped it as more than 5,000 pictures. In a given point of time, you have magazines, you have downtowns, you have state pages, you have sports, you have city. I mean, amazingly, one such occasion was that my picture got published in almost all the pages, because of course it was taken over a period of time, 3 days. So sports on the particular day, city even on the morning, and state in the afternoon, and on the Friday, and the downtown editions, which was taken a couple of days ago. So it got published, and 17 pictures in one edition, which again is a record. But leaving that apart, I just wanted to tell you that there are many pictures which have never seen the light of the day. I remember vividly, one among them is that the first heart transplantation which happened in the year 1996 in Chennai. The heart transplantation. I was the only photographer who was allowed into the operation theatre. Duly, everything was covered from head to toe. My camera was sterile. They have to sterilize everything. The strap was removed because they didn't allow the strap because it's made out of cloth, and they don't want to take a risk. And the entire camera plastic body was sterilized, and then I was allowed inside with all gloves and stuff like that. I still remember this Triple M hospital, KM Chirian was the one who was doing the heart transplantation, and he did. I was there throughout for 7 hours. I was going on and off, go out, drink something, but no eating, drinking something, come back and keep shooting it. Once the heart transplantation was about to happen, this doctor, KM Chirian, he was holding the heart which was transplanted to the patient. It was bouncing like this on his hand under the cage. He was having his hand like this under the heart. And I took the picture with flash, without flash, with all permutation combinations, which I never seen the light of the day for a very simple reason. The office had a policy of not to publish the patients. That was the only first patient of its kind. I mean, everybody knows her. After 6 months, she was brought into a press conference, and we have, they have announced that this is the lady who got the first heart transplantation here in this part of the country, and it was very successful. I mean, I don't know what happened. This happened some 16, 17 years ago, even more than that, 20 years, close to 20 years now. And I was keeping tab of what happened to that lady for 15 years. That was quite interesting. She was well and healthy. And that picture, Chirian was holding the heart, pumping blood. I could see that. So this close, I was taking pictures with all hands shaking. I was quite young then, and which has never seen the light of the day. And the kind of negatives which I couldn't preserve that particular picture because it belongs to the Indian Express when I was working there. So it belongs to them because they are the one who assigned me to that particular assignment, and they still have the negatives, I believe. And I have had quite a lot of black and white negatives, color negatives, and transparencies which are still lying there. Probably they would have changed it to digital. I was covering sports, I was covering food, I was covering fashion parades, covering politics of different parties, political parties, and I was covering wildlife. I was covering so many things. I mean, there's a range which the photographers who working with the newspaper, is phenomenal. We don't restrict ourselves within just a few things, not just sports, not just food, not just. We cover everything. Right, the hard news, as far as we are concerned, the hard news is any news which is breaking in, which is coming in, like what happened 2 years ago in the middle of the night. The dam at Chimrambakam was open, and some of the places were broken. The entire Chennai was floating, and you have restricted movement. You cannot go by your bike. You have to walk for. I've never seen a boat flying on Mount Road. I've seen people going in a boat being rescued on Mount Road here. Very hard news. I mean, you have to follow it up for about a week, 10 days, 15 days, because people lost their houses. Not just one colony or two colonies, but whole lot of people. More than 90,000 people lost their houses. 90,000 in Chennai, and they bounced back to normal in less than a span of 2 months' time. It's kind of hard news, which goes with the everyday newspaper. The soft news is all about your supplement story, supplement pictures. Very soft. I mean, you can pick and choose the place, you can pick and choose the time, you can have the lighting at your convenience. Maybe you can take it in the morning or take it in the evening, take the subject towards, it's all your convenience and the subject's convenience. So that's how it is in a newspaper. Tell you, any news pictures can be featured in a sequence of pictures. It's not just one picture which is going to make a difference. 3 years ago, there was this news which broke out from Metur, which is hardly 380 kilometers from here, that the Metur Dam is totally dried up in the summer, exactly the same month, in the month of May. So we were all thinking that, why not we give it a try? We should go back and see how it looks like. But then any summer, any dam will definitely go down water. We can see rocks, a sheet of water, not much of water to be released and stuff like that. But then I just wanted to make it a difference, and I wanted to give it a series of pictures. For one news, 4 pictures, which is very hard to happen in any newspaper, because newspapers are all very restricted in space. only one picture can be accepted, not 4 pictures. But I was so determined, I thought I will travel down to Salem. From Salem, I went to Mettur, some 45 kilometers. And then I was traveling upstream of the River Kaveri, wherein the dam emerges the end of the river and it comes into the reservoir, and then they release the water. So I was traveling, then I suddenly got the idea of this huge Nandi inside the reservoir, which is 45 kilometers from Mettur. I was going upstream. Everywhere it is dried up. So I parked my car in a village and I started walking for about 17 kilometers. There I found this huge Nandi with a 5 feet pedestal, and the height of the Nandi is about some 25 to 30 feet. The total height is 32 feet, which means when the water is drying up faster, only the Nandi's neck is shown. Only the head will be out. But then to my shock and surprise, I have taken a picture of this Nandi fully. In the sense, the temple, the ceiling of the temple is on the floor. I was walking on the temple, and there is a sanctorum in which I saw through the hole. You see the Shivaling under the sand, buried under the soil, and the Nandi was standing so tall because when Mettur was constructed, there were about some 17 villages which was vacated from that place, and this particular temple is one among those villages. And exactly 2 kilometers from there, I saw 2 spires of the church. So the spires of the church, the Sanctum Sanctorum, the Nandi, and a huge palace which is submerged under the water. The few artifacts which is strewn all over. That was the first time in the history of Mettur this has come up. Normally, up to the neck, the water will be there. But then that was the first time in the news, and I broke the news with 5 pictures got published. I thought I was aiming for 3 and probably 4, but 5 pictures were published in a series.
As photojournalists, we not only take photographs, but we also think of how do we cover a story, what is the perspective we bring in, what is the angle we use, and all the time we are thinking on our feet and with our cameras. We hope that you have learnt from Mr. SR Raghunathan and you are looking for more. We'll continue in the next video.